Hi everyone, this is Frank with Music Box Custom Guitars. We're going to be taking a look at the Motorcity Ampworks Purplexing 50. Get a lot of questions about this amp. It's a new amp company. Jimmy has been around for a long time, worked on pretty much every name in the business when he worked at the amp shop, the original amp shop in North Hollywood. So his client lists read anywhere from Slash to J.K. Lee, Zakk Wylde, Dimartini, George Lynch. Jimmy was actually in a band with George Lynch. Owes the notoriety of being the only rhythm guitar player to ever work with George. But he's done some work for some pretty big names in the industry. This is actually a pretty cool amp in the sense that we're going to be playing through the Purplexing 50. The amp underneath it is actually my amplifier that Jimmy I bought from him ages ago, and I've always had him like add a little extra gain stages, some different EQ things, and you know, odds and ends. Luckily, I've known Jimmy for a long time, and he's been able to help me with that. But the cool thing about it is when he developed the Purplexing 50, he just basically said, "Hey, no need for push-pull pots, extra gain stages. You can just really plug into each input and it'll give you a different tone or different gain stage as well." The voicing of this amp is really in the mid-range. If you scoop the mids out, it's going to give you more of a grungy, you know, 90s kind of tone to it. If you bring the mid-range up, you're going to go from that JCM 800 JMP era EQ. So really, you can kind of find your voicing just the mid-range alone. There is no presence control on this amplifier, but it's not needed. The range of the treble and the mid-range, you should be able to find that kind of voicing. So right now we're going to start here. This is going to be plugged into the low gain of channel 2. I'm going to bring the mid-range up a little bit. This will kind of give you that classic sort of, I'd say, JCM 100 kind of thing. From this stage also, you can clean up by simply bringing back the volume of the guitar, and you can see it breaks up nicely, but it does clean up for you if you need to do more cleaner passages. Now again, bringing up the mid-range in that particular setting will give you more of that JCM 800 early 70s JMP sound, almost like a non-modded original stock. Now as we go into the next stage, I'm going to take you to the low input of channel 1. Again, your tone's going to get a little brighter, and again, a little bit more gain. More sustain, more gain, but it stays nice and sweet and controlled. We're going to take you into now the high gain of channel 1, and you're going to feel more saturation than you will actually maybe even hear it, but you'll get increased sustain and also just more saturation and more gain. Again, for this stage, what I can do is I can also drop the mid-range a little bit, and now you're going to start to hear some different tonality out of the amp. Again, I can bring back a little bit more treble by just adjusting the treble on the front of the amp. I've kind of scooped the mids a little bit more. Again, play again. Again, I can bring more highs, more lows in if I need to. The cool thing I like about it, I have a quadriver actually set up here because I wanted to show you how it hits the input gain stage of an effects loop. Now, in this particular case, just a quadriver, very simple, $50 quadriver. Usually, the one thing you always find with rack units like this is the loop never works efficiently enough to actually bring the quadriverb into the red so that you're getting a even tone. It's not affecting your original tone, it's just wetting up the original signal. Sometimes you'll get a loss of signal with most effects units, but with this effects unit, this effects loop, you'll find that's not the case. So if you look, I don't know if you can really see in this particular light, but it's actually going to clip into the red, which is really where you want your clipping stage to be, so that you're not affecting your original tone, you're just wetting it up. So you're just kind of wetting up the signal a little bit more. Here's another idea. That is the Motorcity Ampworks Purplexing 50.